Today we got our first look at the new Star Wars comic, Crimson Reign. This 5-part comic series is the second chapter of a trilogy that started with the War of the Bounty Hunters comic. Crimson Reign is written by Charles Soule with art by Stephen Cummings and cover art designed by Lionel Francis Yu. Already just from looking at it, this cover is something I want to frame and put up on my wall. It's just amazing. Qi'ra front and center with Vader and Palpatine behind her. It's just so artistically done. The first look at this comic run gave me so much to look at and discuss. The first page alone is insane, putting the reader in the POV of the story by activating what we believe to be a holocron. From there, an image of a ghostly lady appears known only as the Archivist. The Archivist then proceeds to tell us the story of Qi'ra and how she became the leader of Crimson Dawn. It brings us right to a meeting filled with some pretty major characters that blows my mind. Right off the bat, we see the Knights of Ren with Ren himself, Chanith Cha and the Orphans, Ochi of Bestoon, Imara Vex, Deathstick, and the Archivist, all brought together by Qi'ra to discuss a common enemy that she wants to destroy. The Sith. She then proceeds to explain that the previous leader of Crimson Dawn, which was Maul, used to be Sith and apprenticed to Darth Sidious, and she explains to them that just with everything else that the Sith do, Maul was discarded when he was no longer needed. The big goal that Qi'ra brings forward in this meeting is that the structure of power in the galaxy should be balanced, but under Sith rule, this cannot be, and she's brought this whole group together to take out the Sith to restore balance to the galaxy, giving us our first look at Crimson Reign. I'm instantly hooked by this. The plot sounds incredible, and the cast of characters is just so wild to me. I never thought I would see Qi'ra giving orders to the Knights of Ren, and I'm absolutely here for it. Now clearly their plan isn't going to succeed as we know how the original trilogy plays out, but I think that this will still be a fun story and help show how characters such as the Knights of Ren or Ochi of Bestoon got to where they were during the events of the sequel trilogy. But my biggest curiosity is for the Archivist, simply because of her line on the first page. You have accessed this record using the light side of the Force. The dark side would have sufficed. The Force is the Force, to my mind. Would you hear the same tale if you reached out from the shadow? Who can say? That is more about you than me. Clearly, this is a very different looking holocron than what we're used to seeing, if it is in fact a real holocron. But how could both sides of the Force work to obtain what could potentially be the same story? And just who is the Archivist? From that first close-up shot we get of her, my mind went directly to Ian McKay's concept art for the Sith character for The Phantom Menace. Clearly we know that the art wasn't used as Darth Maul was the final choice, but how curious is it that we discuss Maul in this comic and then see a new character with design ties to the original concept art. Now maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I definitely think it's a cool coincidence if anything. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on this first look at Crimson Reign? Are you excited to see Qi'ra back in the story, or is this a comic you're going to skip out on? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't, and remember, the Force will be with you. Always.